You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed, stay connected, and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
You know that moment, right? That really uncanny feeling when you're chatting with an AI, maybe one of those customer service bots. And for a second, it feels, well, genuinely natural, almost like it gets you.
Yeah, it can be surprisingly smooth sometimes.
But then you throw in just a little bit of sarcasm, maybe a dry joke, and bam, the whole conversation just like crashes. It's like hitting this brick wall of just pure misunderstanding.
That experience really sums up this fascinating paradox we see with AI today.
Right.
It can do these absolutely astonishing things, master incredibly complex games, generate amazing art, even compose music.
Unbelievable stuff.
Exactly. But then it just consistently trips up over the, messy, nuanced reality of just connecting with people.
And that messy reality, that's exactly what we're digging into today. Social intelligence. This deep dive, it's not just about, defining some terms. We want to give you a clearer way to see the incredible and sometimes, unsettling truth about how AI is interacting with us, like every single day.
It's everywhere now. Chatbots, assistants.
Totally. Yeah, so we'll cut through the hype, get to what really matters when we talk about AI and human connection, and hopefully uncover some surprising facts for you along the way. Sound good?
Sounds great. Let's unpack it.
Okay. So social intelligence. What are we actually talking about? It's got to be more than just being nice, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's far more intricate than just, being nice or polite. Our research shows it's really this multi-layered capability. We can break it down into 5 critical competencies.
Okay.
Yeah. The first one is emotional perception. And this isn't just spotting obvious things like happy or sad.
Right.
It's about identifying those really nuanced emotions like suppressed anger, maybe hesitant excitement, or even that little glimmer of sarcasm we mentioned.
Really subtle stuff, I bet.
Exactly. Subtle cues, a tiny facial expression, a shift in tone of voice, maybe even body language.
Which is funny because, how often do we humans misread those cues, even face to face?
That's a great point. The ambiguity is sometimes part of human communication itself. AI's struggle isn't just about raw complexity. It's also about that inherent ambiguity we often navigate or even use socially.
Okay, so perceiving the emotion is step 1. What's the next layer then? Is it about understanding the kind of invisible rules?
Precisely. That brings us neatly to social cognition. This is all about understanding the unwritten rules, the norms, the roles, the expectations that shape different social situations.
Like knowing how to act differently at work versus, say, a party.
Exactly. Think about the completely different sort of code for a formal job interview compared to a really casual backyard barbecue.
Totally different worlds.
Right. Different expectations for politeness, hierarchy, how you express yourself, and these things can vary wildly across different cultures too.
Okay, that makes sense. So you read the emotion, you understand the rules.
Yeah.
Then what? Empathy must come in here somewhere.
It does. That's the third competency, empathy.
Yeah.
And this goes deeper than just recognizing an emotion. It's about perspective taking, like genuinely trying to imagine yourself in the other person's shoes, understanding their situation, and then responding with, appropriate care or support. It's feeling with them in a way.
Not just recognizing what they feel, but maybe getting a sense of why.
Yes, exactly. And building on that, once you've perceived and understood, you need adaptability and flexibility. This is crucial.
Okay.
It's about adjusting your communication style, your behavior, your response is based on the specific person you're interacting with, the context you're in, and how the social dynamics might be shifting moment to moment.
So knowing when to be formal, when to crack a joke, when to be direct, or maybe more subtle.
Precisely. That kind of dynamic adjustment is a real cornerstone of effective social interaction.
Right. And that leads us to the last one.
The fifth competency is relationship management. This is the long game, really. It's about building trust over time, resolving conflicts constructively, collaborating effectively with others, and basically maintaining positive connections.
Wow. Okay, so taken together, those five: emotional perception, social cognition, empathy, adaptability, and relationship management, they really paint a picture of just how complex and, well, deeply human social intelligence actually is.
It really is. Now, let's pivot a bit and talk about AI's current abilities in this area because, honestly, it is quite impressive in its own way.
Right. It's not like it can't do anything.
Not at all. Modern AI, especially these large language models, LLMs, and effective computing systems, they've made really significant strides in simulating aspects of social intelligence.
Simulating, that's the key word, isn't it?
It is. For example, look at natural language processing, NLP. The fluency is remarkable now. AI can hold surprisingly realistic conversations, answer complex questions, and even generate text that seems empathetic or supportive.
Yeah, especially for, like, straightforward stuff, standard inquiries.
Exactly. Routine things. It can sound very convincing.
It's almost startling how natural it can feel sometimes.
Yeah.
So beyond just the words, what else can AI kind of mimic?
Well, another big area is sentiment analysis. Algorithms can analyze text or even speech to figure out the basic emotional tone, positive, negative, neutral.
Okay.
And they're getting better at identifying specific emotions too, like joy, anger, fear, from the language used.
And I've heard about systems reading faces and voices.
Right. That's facial and vocal emotion recognition. Computer vision and audio analysis tools look for patterns in faces and voices that are typically associated with basic emotions. You see this used in things like market research or sometimes even for monitoring mental health signs.
And it often feels quite tailored to that personalization aspect.
Yes. Personalization is a big factor. AI can adjust its responses based on your user data, your past interactions, your stated preferences.
Which really creates this powerful illusion of understanding, doesn't it? Like it gets you individually.
It absolutely does. It makes the interaction feel more relevant, maybe more meaningful than it actually is, because it seems tailored just for you.
But, and this feels like a big but, all this impressive simulation runs into a pretty fundamental wall, doesn't it?
It does. This impressive facade, this simulation, brings us right back to the core issue, a fundamental lack of genuine understanding.
Explain that. What does that really mean in practice?
It means the AI doesn't understand emotions or social context the way a human does. It's incredibly good at identifying patterns it saw in massive amounts of data.
So it predicts what should come next based on statistics.
Essentially, yes, it predicts statistically likely responses. It doesn't feel empathy. It doesn't comprehend the underlying reasons why a social norm exists or why someone feels a certain way. It's a highly sophisticated mimic, a brilliant parrot, maybe.
But not a true participant in the conversation, in the human sense.
Precisely. It's not genuinely there.
That's such a crucial distinction, and it leads right into what you called the nuance gap earlier.
Exactly. Human interaction is just loaded with subtlety, ambiguity, irony, cultural context, things AI consistently misses.
Like the sarcasm example we started with. Or dry humor. Or when someone says something but their tone means the complete opposite.
All of that. A slight change in tone or raised eyebrow, a pause, these things can completely alter the meaning for humans. AI really struggles to reliably grasp that level of nuance.
I remember telling a chatbot this really deadpan, sarcastic joke once.
Yeah.
Its response was just, "That's very interesting." Flat. You could almost hear the gears grinding.
Yes. That's a perfect illustration of that nuance gap. It highlights the lack of understanding.
And it's not just tone, right? It's the bigger picture, too.
Right. It also suffers from what we can call contextual blindness. The AI might process the words perfectly, but it often lacks a deep grasp of the broader context.
Like what?
Like the unspoken history between two people talking, or the influence of the physical environment they're in, or the wider cultural backdrop that shapes how things are said and interpreted.
It's like trying to understand a scene in a play just by reading the lines without seeing the actors' expressions, the set, or knowing anything about the story so far.
That's a great analogy. It's missing all that crucial surrounding information that gives the words their real meaning.
Okay, and you mentioned empathy earlier. Let's revisit that. AI can say, "I'm sorry to hear that," right?
It can, yes. It can generate sympathetic sounding responses because it has learned that pattern from its training data. If user expresses distress, output sympathetic phrase X.
But that's not empathy.
No, it lacks genuine empathy, that shared emotional experience, that ability to truly connect with another's feelings. Its care is programmed, a simulated response. It's not felt.
Like a machine perfectly mimicking the motions of a hug, but there's no warmth, no actual feeling behind it.
Exactly. And one more limitation, despite that personalization we talked about, adaptability limits. Meaning, while it can tailor responses based on data it has, its ability to adapt dynamically and appropriately to truly new or rapidly changing social situations is quite limited, especially complex ones involving conflict or high emotional stakes.
So it falls back on its programming or data.
It relies on pre-programmed rules or patterns it's seen before, rather than demonstrating true, spontaneous social navigation and understanding in the moment.
Okay, so these gaps, the lack of real understanding, the nuance gap, contextual blindness, no real empathy, adaptability limits, why should this matter so much to, our listeners? To us in our daily lives?
Well, these limitations aren't just academic points. They have significant real-world implications that are already affecting us.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Okay, first off, the most common one is probably just miscommunication and frustration.
Right, that chatbot example again.
Yeah. An AI misinterpreting your tone, completely missing sarcasm, or giving a generic tone-deaf response when something sensitive is needed. It leads to user frustration, misunderstandings, maybe even offense, and that really erodes trust in these systems.
And I imagine that gets way more serious in certain areas.
Absolutely. That brings us to the ethical risks in really sensitive domains. Think about healthcare, therapy, or education.
I see.
Incredibly high stakes. An AI lacking true empathy and nuanced understanding could potentially provide inadequate support, misread someone's emotional state, or worse, give actively harmful advice. Genuine human understanding is just paramount there.
That's a sobering thought. What else?
There's also the critical issue of reinforcing biases. AI learns from data, and if that data reflects societal biases,
which it inevitably does.
Right, then the AI can inadvertently learn, perpetuate, and even amplify those existing social stereotypes and prejudices in its interactions. This can lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes. It's not malice on the AI's part, it's a reflection of the biased data it learned from.
So it mirrors our own flaws back at us, potentially making them worse.
In some cases, yes. And then there's something a bit more subtle. The uncanny valley of social interaction.
Like with hyper-realistic robots that look almost human but just wrong.
Exactly the same idea, but for interaction style. As AI gets almost socially good but still makes those subtle errors, misses the nuance, the interaction can feel unsettling, creepy even, or just deeply inauthentic.
That definitely pushes you away rather than drawing you in.
It does. It's a real barrier to genuine engagement.
And one last implication.
There's the potential risk of over-reliance and maybe even dehumanization. If we start leaning too heavily on AI for social connection, maybe companion robots for the elderly, for instance.
Which sounds good on the surface.
It can seem helpful, but could it potentially diminish our own human connection skills over time? Or lead to a deeper sense of isolation because the AI simply cannot provide that genuine reciprocal back and forth that is so fundamental to human well-being.
Lots to think about there. Okay, so given these pretty significant limitations and risks, how do we move forward? What's the path ahead for AI development in this area?
Well, bridging this social intelligence gap isn't just about throwing more data at the problem or building faster processors. It really requires some fundamental shifts in AI research and development.
Like what kind of shifts?
One major direction is moving beyond simple pattern matching, developing AI models that incorporate causal reasoning, trying to get them to understand the why behind human behavior, not just correlating inputs and outputs, and building deeper representations of social and psychological concepts.
So moving from correlation to something closer to comprehension.
That's the goal. It's a huge challenge. Another key area is multimodal integration.
Meaning combining different types of input.
Exactly. Not just relying on text, combining natural language processing with computer vision, letting the AI see facial expressions or gestures, plus audio analysis for tone of voice, maybe even physiological data where it's appropriate and ethical, of course.
To get a richer, more holistic picture of the social context, like humans do naturally.
Precisely. Seeing and hearing, not just reading the words on a screen.
What else are researchers looking at?
Another really crucial area is trying to incorporate some form of theory of mind.
Theory of mind. That's the understanding that other people have their own thoughts, beliefs, intentions, right?
Yes. Explicitly modeling within the AI an understanding, in quotes, that others have beliefs, desires, intentions, and perspectives that are different from its own, enabling it to infer what someone else might be thinking or feeling. That's a core part of human social intelligence.
Wow. That sounds incredibly complex to build into an AI.
It is. And related to that is contextual and cultural sensitivity. We need to design AI that is explicitly aware of and adaptable to diverse cultural norms, different social settings, individual differences.
Because what's polite or normal in one context or culture might be completely wrong in another.
Absolutely. One size definitely does not fit all in social interaction.
Makes sense. And is transparency important here too? Knowing why the AI said something?
Hugely important. Explainability and transparency. If we can make the AI's social reasoning processes more transparent, humans can understand why it responded the way it did.
Which helps build trust.
It builds trust, allows us to correct it when it inevitably messes up, and helps ensure accountability.
So ultimately, is the goal to make AI perfectly human-like socially?
I don't think that's necessarily the most productive goal, or even desirable. A better aim might be human-AI collaboration.
How do you mean?
Focusing on AI as a tool to augment our own human social intelligence. Maybe it provides real-time feedback on our communication style in a practice scenario, or helps summarize complex group dynamics in a meeting.
So using AI to make us better at interacting rather than trying to replace the human element.
Exactly. Especially in those high-stakes situations we talked about, it's about complementing human capabilities, not replacing them wholesale, making AI socially aware within its limits, rather than trying to make it truly socially intelligent like a human.
Okay. So as we wrap up this deep dive, the big takeaway seems to be
that AI has made truly astonishing progress. It can mimic human conversation. It can detect basic emotions with increasing accuracy. That's undeniable.
No.
But true social intelligence, with its depth of understanding, that genuine empathy, the nuanced adaptability, the capacity for real, authentic connection, that remains a profoundly, perhaps uniquely human domain. For now, at least.
current AI is brilliant at simulation, but it doesn't comprehend.
That's the core distinction.
And as we weave AI more and more into our lives, recognizing that difference is just paramount. The goal shouldn't be perfect replication, maybe, but developing AI that is socially aware, operates ethically, and complements us.
Well said. It leads to a powerful analogy, doesn't it? Think of a social chameleon.
Right.
It might change its colors impressively, adapting perfectly to blend in with its surroundings.
Right. A master mimic.
But it doesn't truly understand the forest it lives in, the ecosystem, the dangers, the opportunities, that deep contextual understanding, for now anyway, that remains uniquely ours.
A really potent thought to end on. It's a reminder of the irreplaceable value of real human connection and our own critical thinking in this world we're building alongside AI.
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.